Emily Carter's journey began in a small town nestled between rolling hills and endless fields. Born to a loving family, she was always different, but in ways that were as beautiful as they were unique. As a child, Emily's world was a tapestry of vivid colors and intricate patterns that only she could see. Her parents, aware of her extraordinary intelligence and photographic memory, nurtured her curiosity with endless patience and love. From a young age, Emily displayed a remarkable ability to absorb information. She would spend hours poring over books, her tiny fingers tracing the words as she memorized entire passages effortlessly. Her mother often found her in the local library, lost in a sea of stories, while her father marveled at her uncanny ability to recall even the smallest details of their lives. Despite her brilliance, Emily struggled with social interactions. She found it hard to understand the unspoken rules that governed playground politics and classroom conversations. Other children sometimes teased her for being different, but Emily's parents taught her to embrace her uniqueness, assuring her that her differences were her strengths. As Emily grew older, the signs of autism became more apparent. She had difficulty making eye contact and often felt overwhelmed by loud noises and bright lights. Yet her resilience shone through. She learned to navigate her world with the support of her family, who sought out the best resources and therapies to help her thrive. Emily's early years were a blend of challenges and triumphs. While she faced obstacles that others did not, her extraordinary abilities began to set her on a path that would lead to remarkable achievements. Her story was just beginning, and little did she know, the trials she faced would forge a strength and determination that would carry her through the most daunting of life's challenges. As Emily Carter entered her teenage years, her parents noticed that her unique quirks were becoming more pronounced. While other children effortlessly engaged in small talk and social games, Emily often retreated into her own world, a place where facts and figures danced in perfect harmony. She thrived in solitude, where her mind could wander freely without the constraints of social expectations. It was during a particularly challenging school year that Emily's parents decided to seek answers. Her teachers, despite recognizing her exceptional intelligence, were concerned about her difficulty in group activities and her heightened sensitivity to noise. Emily would often cover her ears during loud assemblies and shy away from the cacophony of the cafeteria. Her grades in subjects requiring social interaction were suffering, not because she lacked understanding, but because the environment was overwhelming. After a series of consultations and evaluations, Emily was diagnosed with autism. The news brought a mix of emotions to her family. For Emily's parents, it was a relief to finally understand the root of her challenges, but it also came with a profound sense of uncertainty about the future. They worried about the stigma and misconceptions that often accompanied such a diagnosis. Emily, on the other hand, took the news with her characteristic calm. She had always known she was different, and now she had a name for it. Autism, to her, was just another fact to memorize, another detail in the vast encyclopedia of her mind. It explained why she sometimes felt like an outsider looking in, why the world often seemed too loud, too bright, too confusing. With this new understanding, Emily's family embarked on a journey of discovery. They immersed themselves in learning about autism, determined to support Emily in every way possible. They sought out specialists who could help Emily develop coping strategies for her sensory sensitivities and social challenges. They found schools with inclusive programs that valued her intellectual gifts while accommodating her needs. Emily began to learn about herself in ways she never had before. She discovered techniques to manage sensory overload, like carrying noise-canceling headphones and finding quiet spaces when the world became too much. Social stories and role-playing helped her navigate the intricacies of conversation and body language. The diagnosis was not an end but a beginning, a key that unlocked a deeper understanding of Emily's extraordinary mind. It allowed her to embrace her identity, not as someone who was broken or flawed, but as someone whose differences were a testament to her unique perspective on the world. Emily's journey with autism was now a part of her story, one that would shape her into the remarkable individual she was destined to become. As Emily Carter transitioned from her teenage years to adulthood, the world outside her family's protective bubble revealed itself to be a place filled with both possibilities and profound challenges. High school was a maze of social interactions that often left her feeling lost and isolated. While her peers easily navigated friendships and cliques, Emily found solace in her books and studies, where the rules were clear and predictable. One particular incident stood out in Emily's mind. It was during a group project in her senior year. The task required collaboration and communication, skills that didn't come naturally to Emily. Her group members, frustrated by her perceived aloofness, often ignored her contributions. Emily knew she had valuable insights to offer, but expressing them in a way that resonated with her peers was a hurdle she struggled to overcome. During one meeting, the tension reached a boiling point. The noise of chatter and the overlapping voices felt like a storm inside her head. Emily's hands began to tremble, her vision blurred, and she felt the familiar sensation of sensory overload creeping in. She excused herself abruptly and fled to the school library, her sanctuary. There, among the rows of silent books, she found peace, but also a lingering sense of failure. Emily's parents and teachers, recognizing her distress, worked tirelessly to create a more supportive environment. They implemented individualized education plans that included sensory breaks and quiet spaces where she could retreat when overwhelmed. Her teachers began to understand that Emily's quiet demeanor masked a mind brimming with ideas and insights. Despite these accommodations, Emily continued to face significant social hurdles. Making friends was difficult. She often misinterpreted social cues, leading to misunderstandings and, at times, unintentional hurt feelings. Lunchtimes were the hardest. She would sit alone, eating her meticulously prepared meals, while around her, the lively conversations and laughter seemed like a foreign language she could not decode. Yet, amid these challenges, Emily found strength in her family. Her parents, her unwavering pillars of support, encouraged her to embrace her differences. They reminded her that her autism was not a barrier, but a unique lens through which she viewed the world. They celebrated her small victories, like the time she bravely joined a debate club meeting, or when she presented a solo project with such clarity and passion that it left her classmates in awe. Emily's resilience began to shine through. She discovered that while she might not fit into the conventional social mold, she had the power to carve out her own space. She started to connect with a few understanding classmates who appreciated her for who she was. Together, they formed a small, but tight-knit group that valued honesty, loyalty, and mutual respect. The first challenges Emily faced were not just obstacles. They were the forge in which her character was tempered. Each difficulty she encountered, each moment of doubt and struggle, was a step toward becoming the formidable individual she was meant to be. Emily learned that her journey was uniquely hers, filled with trials that would ultimately reveal her true strength and potential. Emily Carter's decision to pursue a career in law was not a sudden epiphany but a gradual realization that blended her passions, skills, and a deep-seated desire for justice. From a young age, Emily had a keen sense of right and wrong. She would often engage in passionate discussions with her parents about fairness and morality, her sharp mind dissecting complex issues with the precision of a seasoned debater. In high school, a pivotal moment came during a civics class. The topic was the judicial system, and Emily was captivated. The idea that laws could shape society, protect the vulnerable, and hold the powerful accountable resonated deeply with her. Her teacher, noticing her interest, suggested she join the debate club. Despite her initial hesitation, Emily decided to give it a try. The first few debates were challenging. Emily struggled with the rapid-fire exchanges and the pressure of speaking in front of an audience. However, her meticulous preparation and her ability to recall facts with pinpoint accuracy soon set her apart. She began to thrive in the structured environment of debate, where logic and evidence were the cornerstones of every argument. One debate, in particular, solidified her resolve. The topic was about the rights of individuals with disabilities. Emily poured her heart into the research, drawing from her own experiences with autism. She argued passionately for greater inclusivity and support, weaving personal anecdotes with hard facts. Her delivery was powerful, and the impact on her peers was palpable. For the first time, Emily saw how her voice could make a difference. With her newfound confidence, Emily set her sights on law school. She was drawn to the idea of becoming a lawyer who could champion the causes of those who, like her, had faced prejudice and discrimination. Her parents supported her decision wholeheartedly, recognizing the fire in her eyes whenever she talked about law. Applying to law school was no small feat. Emily meticulously crafted her applications, highlighting her academic achievements, debate victories, and her unique perspective as a person with autism. She wrote candidly about her struggles and triumphs, painting a vivid picture of her journey. Her honesty and passion shone through, and she received acceptance letters from several prestigious schools. Choosing the right law school was another challenge. Emily visited campuses, met with faculty, and considered the support systems available for students with disabilities. She ultimately chose a school renowned for its inclusivity and strong advocacy programs. The day she received her acceptance letter was one of the proudest moments of her life. Emily's first days in law school were daunting but exhilarating. The sheer volume of reading, the intensity of the discussions, and the competitive atmosphere were overwhelming at times. Yet she persevered. Her photographic memory proved invaluable, allowing her to recall case details and legal precedents effortlessly. She formed study groups with classmates who appreciated her insights and dedication. Despite the challenges, Emily thrived. She discovered a deep love for legal research and writing, finding solace in the structured logic of the law. Her professors were impressed by her analytical skills and her ability to approach problems from unique angles. Emily began to see the law not just as a set of rules, but as a living, breathing entity that she could shape and influence. Emily's decision to become a lawyer was more than a career choice. It was a calling. It combined her intellectual strengths with her desire to make a tangible impact on the world. Her journey was just beginning, and she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with her unwavering determination and a belief in the power of justice. Emily Carter's first day at university was a whirlwind of new faces, bustling hallways, and an overwhelming sense of possibility. Stepping onto the campus, she felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. The grandeur of the buildings and the vibrant energy of the students were both thrilling and intimidating. Emily knew that university would be a significant chapter in her life, one that would challenge her in ways she had never experienced before. Her parents had helped her move into her dormitory the previous weekend. They meticulously arranged her room, creating a space that was both calming and functional. Emily's mother had hung thick curtains to block out the harsh sunlight, while her father installed noise-canceling panels to muffle the ambient sounds. They knew how critical these adaptations were for Emily's comfort and focus. As classes began, Emily quickly realized that the university environment was vastly different from high school. The lectures were longer, the reading lists more extensive, and the expectations higher. Despite these challenges, Emily was determined to succeed. She attended every class, her notebooks filled with detailed notes and observations. Her professors noticed her dedication and her unique ability to grasp complex legal concepts swiftly. However, the sensory overload she experienced during lectures and crowded hallways was a constant battle. The noise, the chatter, and the fluorescent lights often left her feeling drained and anxious. To cope, Emily developed a routine that included frequent breaks in quiet, secluded spots around the campus. She found solace in the university library's silent study rooms and the tranquil corners of the campus gardens. Emily also sought out the university's Disability Services office, where she met with a counselor who specialized in supporting students with autism. Together, they crafted a plan that included accommodations such as extended test times, access to lecture recordings, and the use of assistive technology. These adjustments were instrumental in helping Emily manage her coursework and maintain her academic performance. Building a social life proved to be another significant challenge. The social intricacies of dorm life, with its spontaneous gatherings and late-night conversations, often left Emily feeling out of place. She found it difficult to initiate interactions and decode the unspoken social cues of her peers. Yet, she longed for connection and friendship. Emily decided to join a few campus clubs that aligned with her interests. The debate team was an obvious choice, given her high school experience. She also joined a book club that met weekly to discuss various genres of literature. These smaller, More structured social settings allowed Emily to engage with others in a way that felt manageable and meaningful. In these clubs, Emily began to find her tribe. She connected with fellow debate enthusiasts who appreciated her sharp mind and unique perspective. The book club became a sanctuary where she could share her love for literature without the pressure of conforming to social norms. Slowly but surely, Emily started to build a network of friends who valued her for who she was. One friendship in particular stood out. Maya, a fellow law student, was drawn to Emily's sincerity and depth of knowledge. They bonded over late-night study sessions and shared cups of coffee between classes. Maya's empathy and understanding provided Emily with a sense of belonging she had rarely felt before. With Maya's encouragement, Emily found herself participating more in social activities and opening up to new experiences. Emily's university years were a period of immense growth and adaptation. She learned to navigate the complexities of academia and social life with resilience and determination. Each challenge she faced, each adaptation she made, brought her closer to realizing her potential. The support she received and the friendships she forged became the foundation upon which she built her future. Through it all, Emily remained steadfast in her pursuit of a career in law, driven by a profound sense of purpose and an unwavering belief in her abilities. Her time at university was more than an academic journey. It was a testament to her strength and an exploration of what it meant to truly thrive. Graduating from university was a moment of triumph for Emily Carter, but it also marked the beginning of a new set of challenges. Armed with her law degree, she entered the fiercely competitive world of legal practice. Securing a position at a prestigious law firm, Emily was both exhilarated and apprehensive. She knew that the real test of her abilities lay ahead. On her first day, Emily walked into the firm's sleek, glass-walled office with a mixture of nerves and excitement. The atmosphere was electric, filled with the hum of conversation and the clicking of keyboards. Lawyers in sharp suits moved with purpose, their briefcases bulging with documents and their faces set in expressions of intense focus. Emily felt a rush of adrenaline as she took in her new surroundings. Her initial days were a whirlwind of orientation sessions, meetings, and training workshops. Emily quickly realized that the demands of the job were relentless. The hours were long, the deadlines tight, and the expectations sky-high. Each task required precision, attention to detail, and an unyielding commitment to excellence. Emily's first assignment was to assist in a high-profile corporate case. The stakes were enormous, and the pressure was palpable. She was tasked with conducting extensive legal research, drafting memos, and reviewing mountains of documents. Emily's photographic memory and analytical skills proved invaluable. She could recall case details and legal precedents with remarkable accuracy, impressing her supervisors with her thoroughness and insight. Despite her intellectual prowess, Emily faced significant hurdles. The firm's fast-paced environment often triggered her sensory sensitivities. The constant buzz of conversation, the ringing phones, and the harsh fluorescent lighting made it difficult for her to concentrate. Emily found herself retreating to quiet corners of the office or taking brief walks outside to recalibrate. Interpersonal dynamics presented another layer of complexity. The legal field was dominated by strong personalities and aggressive tactics. Emily's reserved nature and difficulty with social cues sometimes made it challenging for her to assert herself in meetings and discussions. She had to learn to navigate office politics, advocate for her ideas, and build professional relationships, all while managing the nuances of her autism. One afternoon, during a particularly intense strategy session, Emily found herself struggling to keep up with the rapid-fire exchange of ideas. As the senior partners debated, Emily's mind raced, processing information at lightning speed, but finding it hard to break into the conversation. Just as she was about to resign herself to staying silent, one of the partners turned to her and asked for her input. Gathering her courage, Emily shared her analysis, her voice steady and clear. The room fell silent as her colleagues absorbed her insights, nodding in agreement. It was a small victory, but it bolstered her confidence. As weeks turned into months, Emily continued to prove her worth. She took on increasingly complex cases, her reputation for diligence and expertise growing with each success. She developed strategies to manage her sensory sensitivities, such as using noise-canceling headphones and scheduling regular breaks to decompress. Emily also sought mentorship from senior colleagues who appreciated her unique strengths and offered guidance on navigating the firm's culture. One of her mentors, a seasoned litigator named Jonathan, recognized Emily's potential and took her under his wing. Jonathan had a keen eye for talent and a deep respect for those who dared to be different. He encouraged Emily to trust her instincts, speak up more in meetings, and not shy away from challenging assignments. Under his mentorship, Emily's skills flourished. She began to see herself not just as a capable lawyer, but as a valuable asset to the firm. Emily's first steps in her legal career were marked by growth and transformation. She faced the demands of her profession with resilience, adapting to her environment while staying true to herself. Her journey was a testament to her strength, intelligence, and unwavering determination to succeed. As she moved forward, Emily knew that her unique perspective and experiences would continue to shape her path in the world of law, guiding her toward a future where she could make a meaningful impact. Emily Carter's entrance into the legal profession was accompanied by numerous challenges, but none were as persistent or as painful as her struggles with social interactions in the workplace. Despite her impressive legal acumen and her ability to dissect complex cases with ease, Emily often found herself at odds with the unwritten rules of office social dynamics. The law firm where she worked thrived on collaboration and teamwork. Meetings were a crucible of ideas, where attorneys debated strategies and negotiated responsibilities. For Emily, these meetings were a minefield. She found it hard to follow the rapid shifts in conversation and the subtle cues that dictated turn-taking and emphasis. The more she tried to keep up, the more exhausted and overwhelmed she felt. One particular incident highlighted these difficulties. During a critical strategy session for a major case, the team gathered in the firm's sleek conference room. The senior partner led the discussion, his voice a steady rhythm of authority and insight. As the team dissected various approaches, Emily could feel her mind racing with ideas and solutions. But as each person spoke, she hesitated, unsure of the right moment to interject. When she finally mustered the courage to share her thoughts, she was met with a few polite nods and swiftly redirected back to the primary conversation. The dismissal, though subtle, stung deeply. Emily knew her contributions were valuable, yet her struggle to articulate them within the fast-paced dynamic of the team meetings often left her sidelined. Beyond meetings, everyday office interactions posed their own set of challenges. Casual conversations in the break room, where colleagues bonded over coffee and small talk, were daunting. Emily found it difficult to engage in these seemingly simple exchanges. Her attempts at humor often fell flat, and she frequently misinterpreted jokes and social cues. This disconnect made her feel like an outsider, amplifying her sense of isolation. Her sensory sensitivities added another layer of difficulty. The office environment, with its constant hum of activity, ringing phones, and the clatter of keyboards, was a source of near-constant sensory overload. Emily's desk, situated in an open-plan area, offered little respite from the barrage of sounds and movements. She often wore noise-canceling headphones to cope, but this further isolated her from spontaneous interactions with colleagues. Despite these struggles, Emily was determined not to let her social difficulties define her career. She sought out quieter, more controlled environments where she could work effectively. Her office, a sanctuary of calm amid the chaos, became her haven. She personalized the space with soft lighting and calming decor, creating an atmosphere that helped her focus and recharge. Emily also began to seek out colleagues who showed empathy and understanding. She formed a small but supportive network of peers who valued her intellect and respected her differences. One of these colleagues, a junior associate named David, became a close ally. David had a natural gift for reading people and quickly recognized Emily's discomfort in social settings. He often facilitated her contributions in meetings, creating openings for her to speak and ensuring her insights were heard. In time, Emily learned to navigate the social landscape of the firm with greater confidence. She developed strategies to manage her interactions, such as preparing talking points for meetings and practicing conversational skills in less stressful settings. Emily also took the initiative to educate her colleagues about autism, fostering a more inclusive and supportive workplace culture. Her efforts began to pay off. As her colleagues gained a better understanding of her unique challenges and strengths, their attitudes shifted. They started to see Emily not just as a brilliant lawyer with quirks, but as a valued team member whose different perspective enriched their work. Her ability to think outside the box and her meticulous attention to detail became assets that the firm increasingly relied upon. Emily's journey through the social difficulties at work was a testament to her resilience and adaptability. She faced each challenge with courage and determination, slowly but surely carving out a space where she could thrive. Her experiences underscored the importance of empathy, understanding, and the value of diverse perspectives in the workplace. Through her struggles and triumphs, Emily continued to pave the way for a future where differences were celebrated and every voice had a chance to be heard. In the pristine hallways of the prestigious law firm where Emily Carter worked, a different kind of challenge lurked: subtle prejudice. Unlike overt discrimination, this type of bias was insidious, often cloaked in seemingly innocuous comments and actions. For Emily, navigating these waters required not only resilience but also a deep well of patience and strategic thinking. It began with the little things. Colleagues would sometimes speak to her in overly simplistic terms, as if her autism somehow diminished her intellectual capabilities. During meetings, they would occasionally dismiss her suggestions with a patronizing smile, their words dripping with condescension. "That's an interesting point, Emily, but let's focus on the main strategy," was a phrase she heard all too often, its underlying message clear. Her ideas were not valued as highly as those of her peers. These microaggressions extended beyond verbal interactions. Emily noticed that she was often left out of key email chains and important discussions. Decisions about case strategies or team assignments were made without her input, and she would only find out about them later, usually through secondhand information. It was as if her presence in the firm was acknowledged, but her contributions were not truly integrated into the team's fabric. The social events at the firm, which were crucial for networking and career advancement, posed another arena for subtle prejudice. Emily's sensory sensitivities made these gatherings particularly challenging. The loud music, the bustling crowds, and the chaotic environment were overwhelming. While her colleagues mingled and formed connections, Emily often found herself on the periphery, struggling to cope with the sensory overload. Her absence from these events was noted, and some colleagues interpreted it as a lack of team spirit or social skills, further alienating her. One particularly poignant moment occurred during the firm's annual retreat. It was an event designed to foster camaraderie and team building, held at a luxurious resort. The retreat included a series of workshops and recreational activities meant to break down barriers and encourage collaboration. Emily had prepared herself mentally and physically, hoping to participate as fully as possible. During a team-building exercise, the facilitator asked everyone to pair up and share something personal about themselves. Emily was paired with a senior partner, a formidable figure known for his sharp mind and no-nonsense approach. As they sat facing each other, Emily spoke candidly about her autism, explaining how it shaped her experiences and her approach to work. The senior partner listened politely, but his response was disheartening. "That's very brave of you to share, Emily," he said, his tone tinged with a hint of dismissiveness. "But in this line of work, we all have our challenges. It's important to focus on the job at hand and not let personal issues interfere with our performance." Emily felt a pang of disappointment. She had hoped for understanding and maybe even a sense of solidarity. Instead, she was reminded that her struggles were seen as weaknesses, something to be overlooked or minimized in the pursuit of professional excellence. Despite these challenges, Emily refused to let the subtle prejudice define her. She continued to excel in her work, her dedication and expertise speaking louder than any bias she encountered. She sought allies within the firm who appreciated her for her talents and supported her journey. David, her close colleague, and Jonathan, her mentor, were steadfast in their belief in her capabilities and often advocated on her behalf. Emily also took proactive steps to educate her peers about autism. She organized a workshop on neurodiversity in the workplace, inviting experts to speak about the benefits of an inclusive environment. The event was a turning point. It opened many eyes to the realities faced by individuals like Emily and fostered a greater sense of empathy and understanding within the firm. Through her perseverance, Emily began to see a gradual shift in attitudes. Her colleagues started to recognize the value of her unique perspective and the strength of her character. The subtle prejudice did not vanish overnight, but with each small victory, Emily carved out a space where she could be seen and heard for who she truly was. Emily's journey through subtle prejudice was not just about overcoming bias. It was about changing hearts and minds. Her experience highlighted the importance of empathy, education, and the relentless pursuit of fairness. By standing firm in her truth and advocating for herself and others, Emily paved the way for a more inclusive and compassionate workplace. The bustling law firm where Emily Carter worked was a hive of activity, a symphony of sounds, sights, and movements that could overwhelm even the most seasoned professional. For Emily, with her heightened sensory sensitivities, the daily environment presented a relentless series of challenges. Each morning began with the cacophony of the city, a barrage of honking horns, distant sirens, and the incessant hum of traffic. By the time Emily arrived at the office, she was already on edge. The sleek, modern design of the law firm, with its open floor plan and glass walls, offered little refuge from the constant stimuli. Conversations overlapped, phones rang incessantly, and the clatter of keyboards provided a ceaseless background noise. The bright fluorescent lights overhead were particularly harsh, casting a stark, unrelenting glare that made it difficult for Emily to concentrate. She often found herself squinting against the brightness, her eyes straining and her head beginning to ache. The office's climate control system, with its unpredictable blasts of cold air, added another layer of discomfort, sending shivers down her spine and making it hard to maintain focus. Emily's desk, situated in a high-traffic area, was a focal point for interruptions. Colleagues frequently stopped by with questions, requests, or just to chat, breaking her concentration and heightening her anxiety. The spontaneous nature of these interactions was jarring, disrupting the careful mental equilibrium she worked so hard to maintain. To cope with these sensory challenges, Emily developed a series of strategies. She started wearing noise-canceling headphones, which muffled the surrounding noise and provided a buffer against the auditory onslaught. The headphones became a constant companion, a necessary tool for survival in the chaotic environment. Yet, their use also marked her as different, further isolating her from the casual interactions that built camaraderie among her peers. Emily also began to experiment with lighting solutions. She brought a small desk lamp from home, equipped with a soft, warm bulb that provided a gentler, more focused light. This small oasis of calm on her desk was a stark contrast to the harsh overhead lights. Whenever possible, she adjusted her work schedule to take advantage of quieter times in the office, arriving early in the morning or staying late into the evening when the office was less crowded. Despite these adaptations, there were days when the sensory overload was too much to bear. On such days, Emily retreated to the firm's meditation room, a small, dimly lit space designed for relaxation. Here, she could close her eyes, take deep breaths, and find a moment of peace amid the storm. These brief respites were crucial for her mental and emotional well-being, allowing her to recharge and return to her work with renewed focus. Emily's sensory challenges also extended to client interactions. Meeting with clients in bustling coffee shops or noisy conference rooms was often a trial. The need to filter out background noise while focusing on the conversation at hand required immense concentration. She learned to request quieter, more controlled environments for these meetings, choosing private offices or quiet corners of the firm where she could engage without distraction. One memorable client meeting underscored the difficulty of these sensory challenges. Emily was representing a high-profile client in a contentious case, and they had arranged to meet in a busy downtown cafe. The clinking of cups, the hiss of the espresso machine, and the murmur of conversations created a sensory overload that made it hard for Emily to concentrate. Despite her best efforts, she struggled to follow the client's rapid-fire explanations and felt the familiar creep of panic. Recognizing her distress, the client, a seasoned executive, suggested moving to a quieter location. They relocated to a nearby park, where the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant chirping of birds provided a much-needed respite. In this calmer setting, Emily was able to focus fully, her mind sharp and her insights clear. The client, noticing the difference, expressed appreciation for her dedication and adaptability. Through these experiences, Emily learned to advocate for her needs and to create environments that supported her unique sensory profile. Her colleagues and clients, once they understood the challenges she faced, became more accommodating, scheduling meetings in quieter rooms and respecting her need for occasional solitude. Emily's journey with sensory challenges was a testament to her resilience and ingenuity. She navigated a world that often felt overwhelming, finding ways to thrive despite the constant barrage of stimuli. Her story highlighted the importance of understanding and accommodation, showing that with the right support, even the most daunting obstacles could be overcome. Emily Carter's journey in the legal world was a constant battle to prove her competence in an environment that often underestimated her abilities due to her autism. The competitive nature of the law firm was intense, with every lawyer vying for recognition, prestigious cases, and career advancement. For Emily, each day was a new opportunity to demonstrate her exceptional skills and knowledge, but also a new set of hurdles to overcome. One of her earliest and most daunting assignments came when she was asked to assist in a high-stakes corporate litigation case. The case was complicated, involving intricate financial details and a labyrinth of legal precedents. It was the kind of challenge that could make or break a young lawyer's career. Emily's task was to dig through thousands of pages of documents, identify key pieces of evidence, and build a coherent narrative that could stand up in court. Emily approached the task with her characteristic diligence. Her photographic memory allowed her to absorb vast amounts of information quickly and accurately. She spent countless hours in the firm's archive room, her eyes scanning page after page, her mind meticulously cataloging every relevant detail. Her colleagues were astounded by her ability to recall specific clauses and precedents from memory, often without needing to reference her notes. Despite her remarkable skills, Emily knew that simply being thorough was not enough. She needed to present her findings in a way that would convince her superiors of her worth. She crafted detailed reports, complete with annotated evidence and strategic recommendations. When it came time to present her work to the senior partners, Emily felt a familiar knot of anxiety in her stomach. Public speaking and high-pressure situations often triggered her sensory sensitivities, but she was determined to push through. Standing in the conference room, Emily took a deep breath and began her presentation. She spoke clearly and confidently, her eyes fixed on the charts and documents she had meticulously prepared. As she walked the partners through her findings, she could see the initial skepticism in their eyes slowly give way to respect and admiration. They peppered her with questions, testing her knowledge and the strength of her arguments. Emily answered each one with precision, drawing on the vast reservoir of information in her mind. By the end of the meeting, it was clear that Emily had not only met their expectations but exceeded them. Her analysis was not just thorough. It was insightful and strategic, providing the firm with a strong foundation for their case. The senior partner, who had initially doubted her abilities, publicly commended her for her exceptional work. It was a moment of triumph, a validation of her hard work and dedication. Emily's success in this case marked a turning point in her career. Her colleagues began to see her not just as the quirky lawyer with autism, but as a formidable professional whose unique abilities were an asset to the firm. She was given more responsibility and increasingly complex cases, each one an opportunity to further prove her competence. One of the most challenging cases she handled was a pro bono case involving a wrongful eviction. The client, an elderly woman, had been unjustly forced out of her home by a predatory landlord. The case required a delicate balance of legal expertise and compassionate advocacy. Emily poured her heart into the work, spending countless hours gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, and building a case that would stand up in court. When the day of the hearing arrived, Emily was nervous but prepared. The courtroom was packed, and the atmosphere was charged with tension. Emily presented her case with clarity and conviction, her arguments bolstered by meticulously gathered evidence and compelling witness testimonies. As she spoke, she could see the judge and jury leaning in, captivated by her narrative. The verdict was a resounding victory for Emily and her client. The judge praised her for her thoroughness and dedication, and the elderly woman hugged her, tears of gratitude in her eyes. It was moments like these that reaffirmed Emily's choice to become a lawyer. She was not just proving her competence. She was making a tangible difference in people's lives. Emily's journey to prove her competence was never easy, but it was filled with moments of triumph that showcased her resilience and brilliance. Each case, each challenge, was a stepping stone towards a career marked by excellence and integrity. Her story is a powerful reminder that true competence is not just about meeting expectations, but about exceeding them in ways that leave a lasting impact. As Emily Carter's reputation grew within the firm, so did the complexity of the cases she was assigned. The challenges she faced were immense, but each case became an opportunity for her to showcase her extraordinary analytical skills and unwavering dedication. One of the most intricate cases she took on involved a multinational corporation embroiled in a massive antitrust lawsuit. The case spanned several jurisdictions and involved a mountain of evidence, including emails, financial records, and internal memos. The stakes were incredibly high, with the potential to set a significant legal precedent and impact the global market. Emily was entrusted with the crucial task of sifting through the extensive documentation to identify patterns and connections that could either incriminate or exonerate her client. Her ability to retain and process information with her photographic memory became her greatest asset. She spent long nights in the firm's war room, surrounded by stacks of documents and a digital archive that seemed to stretch endlessly. Emily's approach was methodical. She created a detailed timeline of events, cross-referencing every piece of evidence to build a coherent narrative. She used color-coded charts and graphs to map out the intricate web of interactions between the key players. Her desk was a mosaic of sticky notes and legal pads filled with annotations, a testament to her relentless pursuit of clarity amidst the chaos. One night, while combing through a particularly dense section of emails, Emily stumbled upon a series of coded messages. At first glance, they seemed innocuous, but her keen eye detected a pattern. She realized that the messages were part of a covert communication system used to coordinate price fixing among competitors. This discovery was a breakthrough, providing the smoking gun needed to turn the case in their favor. With this critical evidence in hand, Emily worked tirelessly to prepare for trial. She knew that presenting the information in a clear and compelling manner was as important as the discovery itself. She crafted a series of visual aids to illustrate the conspiracy, ensuring that the judge and jury could easily grasp the complex scheme. The courtroom was packed on the day of the trial. Emily felt a mix of nerves and determination as she took her place among the lead attorneys. When it was her turn to present the findings, she walked the court through the evidence with meticulous precision. Her presentation was a masterclass in clarity and persuasion, each point building upon the last to form an irrefutable case. As she unveiled the coded messages and explained their significance, Emily could see the jury members leaning forward, their attention fully captured. The opposing counsel attempted to discredit her findings, but Emily stood her ground, countering each argument with facts and logic. Her calm demeanor and unwavering confidence left a lasting impression on everyone in the room. In the end, the verdict was a resounding victory for Emily and her team. The judge commended her for her exceptional work, noting that her analysis had been pivotal in unraveling the complex case. The firm's senior partners, who had initially been skeptical of her abilities, praised her for her tenacity and brilliance. The victory was more than just a professional milestone for Emily. It was a validation of her unique strengths and her ability to thrive in the most challenging environments. Her success in handling such a complex case solidified her reputation as one of the firm's top attorneys, earning her respect and admiration from her colleagues. Emily's journey through this case was a testament to her resilience and expertise. It showcased her ability to tackle the most daunting challenges with grace and precision, turning potential setbacks into opportunities for growth and success. Each complex case she took on was a step towards a future where her skills and dedication could shine, proving that she was not just a capable lawyer, but an exceptional one. Emily Carter's rise in the legal world was marked not just by her intellect and perseverance, but also by the ethical and moral dilemmas she encountered along the way. Each case she handled brought with it a set of challenges that tested not only her legal acumen but also her principles and integrity. One of the most poignant dilemmas Emily faced involved a pro bono case that came across her desk late one evening. A young woman named Maria had been wrongfully accused of embezzlement from a nonprofit organization where she worked. The evidence against Maria seemed overwhelming. Bank statements, email correspondences, and witness testimonies all pointed to her guilt. But Maria insisted on her innocence, her voice trembling as she recounted her story. Emily felt a deep empathy for Maria. She could see the desperation in her eyes, the fear of losing everything she had worked for. Driven by a sense of justice, Emily decided to take on the case, even though it seemed almost impossible to win. She believed in Maria's innocence and was determined to uncover the truth. As Emily delved deeper into the case, she discovered discrepancies in the evidence. The bank statements had irregularities that suggested tampering, and some of the email correspondences appeared to be fabricated. Emily's relentless investigation led her to suspect that someone within the organization was framing Maria to cover up their own wrongdoing. The deeper she dug, the murkier the situation became. Emily's pursuit of the truth began to uncover a web of corruption that extended far beyond Maria's case. She found herself facing a choice: pursue the leads that could expose a broader scandal within the nonprofit sector or focus solely on clearing Maria's name. The former could bring about significant positive change, but it also posed a risk to her career and personal safety. Emily chose to follow the truth no matter where it led. Her investigation brought her into contact with whistleblowers and sources who provided crucial information. She meticulously gathered evidence, building a case that not only exonerated Maria but also exposed the systemic corruption within the organization. As the trial approached, Emily faced another ethical dilemma. The opposing counsel offered a deal. They would drop all charges against Maria if Emily agreed to bury the broader corruption case. It was a tempting offer. Accepting it would mean immediate freedom for Maria, but at the cost of allowing the true perpetrators to continue their illicit activities unchecked. Emily struggled with the decision. She spent sleepless nights weighing the consequences, her mind racing with the potential outcomes. In the end, she chose integrity over expediency. She presented her findings in court, laying out the evidence with her usual precision and clarity. The courtroom was riveted as Emily revealed the depth of the corruption and the lengths to which the true culprits had gone to frame Maria. The judge, moved by the compelling evidence and Emily's unwavering dedication to justice, ruled in Maria's favor. The case not only cleared Maria's name but also led to a broader investigation into the nonprofit sector, resulting in significant reforms and accountability. This victory was bittersweet for Emily. While she had achieved justice for Maria and exposed a significant issue, the case took a toll on her emotionally and professionally. She faced backlash from powerful individuals who had been implicated, and her firm was put under intense scrutiny. Yet, through it all, Emily stood firm in her belief that justice and truth were worth fighting for, no matter the cost. Emily's encounter with ethical and moral dilemmas highlighted the complexities of the legal profession. It was a stark reminder that being a lawyer was not just about winning cases but about upholding the principles of justice and integrity. Her journey through these challenges strengthened her resolve and deepened her commitment to using her skills for the greater good, shaping her into a lawyer who not only knew the law but also embodied its highest ideals. Despite the many challenges Emily Carter faced in her career, her journey was also marked by significant personal triumphs that showcased her resilience, determination, and unwavering spirit. These moments of victory were not just milestones in her professional life, but also powerful affirmations of her inner strength and ability to overcome adversity. One of the most memorable triumphs came when Emily decided to mentor a young associate named Hannah, who had recently joined the firm. Hannah was bright, eager, and full of potential, but she also faced her own set of challenges, including a lack of confidence and difficulty navigating the high-pressure environment of the firm. Emily saw a reflection of her younger self in Hannah and felt a strong desire to support and guide her. Emily's mentorship went beyond just offering professional advice. She shared her own experiences, including the struggles she faced as an autistic lawyer in a competitive field. She taught Hannah coping strategies for dealing with stress, techniques for effective communication, and the importance of self-advocacy. Emily's guidance was patient and empathetic, and she made a point to celebrate Hannah's small victories along the way. One particularly challenging project required Hannah to present her findings to a room full of senior partners. The stakes were high, and Hannah was visibly nervous. Emily spent hours working with her, helping her refine her presentation and boosting her confidence. On the day of the presentation, Emily sat in the audience, offering silent support. Hannah's presentation was a resounding success. She spoke with clarity and confidence, impressing the senior partners with her thorough analysis and insightful recommendations. Afterward, she received accolades from her colleagues, and Emily felt a deep sense of pride. It was a triumph not just for Hannah, but for Emily as well. Her mentorship had made a tangible difference, proving that her own experiences and struggles could be a source of strength and inspiration for others. Another significant personal triumph came when Emily was invited to speak at a national conference on neurodiversity in the workplace. The invitation was a recognition of her efforts to promote inclusivity and support for neurodiverse individuals in the legal profession. Preparing for the conference, Emily felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. Public speaking had always been a challenge, but she knew this was an important opportunity to share her story and advocate for change. Standing on the stage, facing an audience of industry leaders, advocates, and fellow professionals, Emily took a deep breath and began her speech. She spoke candidly about her journey, the obstacles she had faced, and the triumphs she had achieved. She highlighted the importance of creating supportive work environments that value diversity and foster inclusion. Her words resonated deeply with the audience, many of whom were moved to tears. The conference was a turning point. Emily received a standing ovation, and afterward, numerous attendees approached her to share their own stories and express their gratitude. The experience was profoundly validating. It affirmed that her voice and her advocacy had the power to affect change and inspire others. This personal triumph reinforced her commitment to making the legal profession more inclusive and supportive for all. Emily's journey was also marked by quieter, more personal victories. Each time she navigated a social interaction with ease, each moment of sensory peace she carved out in a chaotic environment, and each instance where she stood up for herself and others were triumphs in their own right. These moments, though small, were powerful reminders of her growth and resilience. Through these personal triumphs, Emily's story became one of hope, empowerment, and transformation. Her achievements were not just about professional success, but about overcoming internal and external barriers and finding strength in her unique perspective. Emily's journey highlighted the beauty of resilience and the power of perseverance, inspiring others to embrace their own challenges and triumphs with courage and determination. In the competitive world of law, respect is earned through dedication, skill, and integrity. For Emily Carter, gaining the respect of her colleagues and clients was a journey filled with hard work, resilience, and moments that showcased her extraordinary capabilities. One pivotal moment came during a particularly contentious case involving a major pharmaceutical company accused of unethical practices. The case was high-profile and complex, requiring a deep understanding of both legal and medical nuances. Emily was assigned as the lead attorney, a testament to the growing confidence her firm had in her abilities. The case demanded exhaustive research and a meticulous approach. Emily's team worked around the clock, combing through mountains of documents and interviewing key witnesses. Emily's attention to detail and her ability to synthesize vast amounts of information were invaluable. She discovered inconsistencies in the company's records that pointed to deliberate misinformation and concealment of critical data. As the trial approached, tensions ran high. The courtroom was packed with media, industry experts, and observers. Emily's preparation was thorough, but the pressure was immense. She knew that her performance in court would be scrutinized not just by her peers, but by the entire legal community. When Emily took the floor to present her case, the room fell silent. Her calm demeanor and clear, authoritative voice commanded attention. She laid out the evidence with precision, building a compelling narrative that exposed the company's wrongdoing. Her cross-examination of the defense witnesses was masterful, revealing contradictions and undermining their credibility. Throughout the trial, Emily's unwavering focus and strategic thinking shone through. She anticipated the defense's moves and countered them effectively, turning the tide in her favor. Her colleagues, who had initially been skeptical of her abilities, watched in awe as she dismantled the opposing arguments with logic and clarity. The jury's verdict was a resounding victory for Emily and her team. The pharmaceutical company was held accountable, and significant damages were awarded to the plaintiffs. The judge commended Emily for her exceptional work, noting her professionalism and the thoroughness of her case. It was a moment of triumph that solidified her reputation as a formidable attorney. This victory was not just a professional milestone. It was a turning point in how Emily was perceived within the firm. Her colleagues began to seek her advice on complex cases, valuing her insights and strategic mind. She was invited to lead more high-profile cases and take on a mentorship role for younger associates. Emily's office became a hub of activity, where team members collaborated and sought her guidance. Beyond the firm, Emily's reputation spread throughout the legal community. Clients specifically requested her representation, impressed by her track record and the stories of her courtroom prowess. She was invited to speak at legal conferences and participate in panels, where her expertise was widely recognized and respected. One memorable interaction highlighted the shift in how Emily was viewed. A senior partner who had once doubted her capabilities approached her after a particularly challenging case. "Emily," he said, "I owe you an apology. I underestimated you, and I've seen firsthand how wrong I was. Your work is exceptional, and you have my utmost respect." Emily accepted the acknowledgement with grace, but it was a deeply gratifying moment. She had faced skepticism and bias, yet she had proven her worth through her actions and results. Her journey to gaining respect was not about demanding it, but about earning it through consistent excellence and unwavering integrity. Emily's story of gaining respect is a powerful testament to the impact of perseverance and dedication. She demonstrated that true respect is not given lightly. It is earned through hard work, skill, and the ability to overcome challenges. Her journey serves as an inspiration, showing that with determination and resilience, one can rise above obstacles and gain the recognition and respect they deserve. Emily Carter's journey through the legal profession was not one she traveled alone. Along the way, she discovered the profound importance of building a support network, a group of individuals who offered guidance, understanding, and unwavering support. This network became her anchor, helping her navigate the complexities and challenges of her career. The foundation of Emily's support network began with her family. From the beginning, her parents were her biggest advocates, providing a safe and nurturing environment where she could thrive. They celebrated her achievements, no matter how small, and offered comfort during moments of doubt and difficulty. Their belief in her abilities was a constant source of strength, reminding her that she was never alone in her journey. As Emily entered the professional world, she realized the necessity of expanding her support network beyond her family. The law firm she joined was a bustling hive of activity, filled with seasoned attorneys and eager young associates. Initially, Emily felt isolated, her unique challenges setting her apart from her peers. But she soon discovered that there were individuals within the firm who were willing to offer mentorship and friendship. One of her earliest and most significant connections was with Jonathan, a senior litigator known for his sharp mind and compassionate heart. Jonathan took Emily under his wing, recognizing her potential and understanding the unique hurdles she faced as an autistic lawyer. He provided her with invaluable advice on navigating the firm's culture, honing her legal skills, and managing the pressures of high-stakes cases. More than that, Jonathan offered a listening ear and a non-judgmental space where Emily could voice her concerns and frustrations. Another crucial member of Emily's support network was David, a fellow associate who quickly became a close friend. David's empathy and patience made him an ideal confidant. He understood the sensory sensitivities and social challenges Emily faced and often acted as a bridge between her and other colleagues. Whether it was facilitating conversations in meetings or providing quiet companionship during lunch breaks, David's presence was a constant source of comfort and reassurance. Emily also found support in unexpected places. Hannah, the young associate she mentored, became an integral part of her network. As Emily guided Hannah through the trials and tribulations of the legal profession, a mutual respect and friendship blossomed. Hannah's gratitude and admiration for Emily's mentorship were palpable, and in return, she offered Emily a fresh perspective and unwavering loyalty. Their bond was a testament to the power of mutual support and the impact of mentorship. Beyond her immediate circle at the firm, Emily sought out connections within the broader legal community. She joined professional organizations and attended conferences focused on neurodiversity and inclusion. Through these events, she met other lawyers who shared similar experiences and challenges. These connections provided a sense of solidarity and belonging, reinforcing the idea that she was part of a larger movement advocating for change and acceptance in the profession. One particularly transformative moment came when Emily attended a national conference on neurodiversity in the workplace. There, she met Dr. Laura Simmons, a renowned advocate for neurodiverse professionals. Dr. Simmons' work and passion for inclusion deeply resonated with Emily. They struck up a conversation that led to a lasting mentorship. Dr. Simmons became a source of inspiration and guidance, helping Emily navigate her career while staying true to her values and advocating for others. Emily's support network was not just about professional connections. It also included personal relationships that enriched her life. She cultivated friendships outside of work, finding solace in shared interests and hobbies. These friends offered a different kind of support, one that provided balance and joy outside the demanding world of law. Whether it was through shared meals, quiet evenings, or adventurous outings, these relationships reminded Emily of the importance of maintaining a well-rounded and fulfilling life. Building and nurturing her support network was a continuous journey for Emily. It required effort, vulnerability, and the willingness to seek help and offer it in return. Through this network, she found strength, resilience, and the courage to face the many challenges of her profession. Her story is a powerful reminder of the importance of community and the profound impact that a supportive network can have on one's personal and professional growth. In the end, Emily's support network became more than just a source of assistance. It was a testament to the power of human connection. It illustrated how the bonds we form and the relationships we nurture can lift us up, provide us with strength, and help us achieve our fullest potential. Emily's journey showed that while individual resilience is crucial, the support of others can make all the difference in overcoming obstacles and achieving true success. Emily Carter, despite her numerous accomplishments and resilience, experienced profound moments of vulnerability that shaped her journey. These moments were pivotal, revealing her humanity and strength in equal measure, and they underscored the depth of her character. One particularly challenging period came during a high-pressure merger negotiation between two major corporations. Emily was a key player in the negotiations, her sharp mind and attention to detail making her an invaluable asset. The stakes were incredibly high, with millions of dollars and thousands of jobs on the line. The intensity of the situation was compounded by the relentless pace, with meetings stretching late into the night and demands coming from all directions. As the negotiations dragged on, Emily began to feel the weight of the pressure. The sensory overload of the constant phone calls, heated discussions, and barrage of information started to take its toll. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, Emily found herself sitting alone in her office, the quiet hum of the air conditioning the only sound. She felt a wave of exhaustion and doubt wash over her, a stark contrast to her usual confident demeanor. It was in that solitude that Emily allowed herself to acknowledge her vulnerability. The tears came unbidden, a release of the pent-up stress and emotion she had been holding back. She felt a deep sense of isolation, wondering if she was truly equipped to handle the enormous responsibility placed on her shoulders. For a moment, the facade of the unflappable lawyer cracked, revealing the human beneath. In the midst of this emotional turmoil, Emily's phone buzzed with a message from David, her close colleague and friend. "How are you holding up?" it read. David had a keen sense of timing and an understanding of Emily's struggles. His simple message was a lifeline, a reminder that she was not alone in her journey. Emily responded honestly, sharing her feelings of overwhelm and doubt. David's reply was immediate and comforting. "You're one of the strongest people I know. Remember why you're here and what you've already accomplished. We're in this together." His words were a balm to her frayed nerves, offering the reassurance she desperately needed. The next day, Emily walked into the negotiation room with renewed determination. She was still feeling the weight of her vulnerability, but she now saw it not as a weakness but as a testament to her humanity. She channeled her emotions into her work, using her experience and insight to guide the negotiations to a successful conclusion. The merger was finalized, and Emily's role was lauded by both her firm and the client. Another significant moment of vulnerability occurred when Emily faced a personal loss. Her beloved grandmother, who had been a pillar of support throughout her life, passed away unexpectedly. The grief hit Emily hard, leaving her struggling to balance her personal sorrow with her professional responsibilities. She took a brief leave of absence, retreating to her family home to be with her loved ones and to grieve. During this time, Emily felt a deep sense of fragility. The loss of her grandmother brought back memories of her childhood and the unwavering support she had always received. It was a period of introspection, where Emily confronted her fears and insecurities. The vulnerability she felt was overwhelming, but it also brought a sense of clarity and perspective. Emily's return to work was marked by a quiet resolve. She carried her grief with her but allowed it to deepen her empathy and understanding. She became more attuned to the struggles of her colleagues and clients, recognizing that everyone had their own battles to fight. Her vulnerability became a source of strength, enabling her to connect with others on a more profound level. One evening, during a mentoring session with Hannah, Emily shared her recent experiences. She spoke openly about her grandmother's passing and the impact it had on her. Hannah listened with rapt attention, moved by Emily's honesty. It was a powerful moment of connection, reinforcing the bond between mentor and mentee. Emily's willingness to be vulnerable showed Hannah that true strength lies not in the absence of emotion but in the ability to embrace it and grow from it. Emily's moments of vulnerability were integral to her journey. They revealed her depth of character and her capacity for resilience. Through these experiences, she learned that vulnerability is not a sign of weakness but a fundamental aspect of being human. It allowed her to connect more deeply with others, to find strength in her authenticity, and to navigate the challenges of her profession with grace and empathy. Her story is a testament to the power of vulnerability, illustrating that the moments when we feel most fragile can also be the moments when we discover our greatest strength. Emily's journey shows that embracing our vulnerabilities allows us to build deeper connections, foster understanding, and ultimately achieve a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Emily Carter's journey was defined by numerous challenges and triumphs, but none were as transformative as the emotional turning point that reshaped her life and career. This pivotal moment came during a pro bono case that struck at the core of her values and tested her limits in ways she had never imagined. The case involved a young immigrant family facing deportation. The father, a hardworking man named Carlos, had fled his home country to escape violence and provide a better life for his wife and young daughter. Despite his efforts to build a new life in the United States, a minor legal infraction from years prior had resurfaced, threatening to tear his family apart. Emily, moved by their plight, took on the case with a fierce determination to fight for their right to stay. The case was complicated and fraught with legal and emotional challenges. The evidence was stacked against Carlos, and the odds of winning were slim. Emily poured herself into the work, spending countless hours researching immigration law, gathering character witnesses, and preparing a compelling case. She met with the family regularly, building a rapport and understanding the depth of their fear and hope. As the court date approached, Emily could feel the weight of the case bearing down on her. She knew that the outcome would determine the future of a family who had placed their trust in her. The pressure was immense, and the emotional stakes were higher than anything she had faced before. In the days leading up to the hearing, Emily began to experience a profound sense of doubt. The constant barrage of negative news about immigration and the skepticism from some of her colleagues made her question whether she could truly make a difference. One night, overwhelmed by the enormity of the task, she broke down, her tears a mixture of frustration and fear. It was during this moment of vulnerability that Emily reached out to Jonathan, her mentor. She confided in him, sharing her fears and doubts. Jonathan listened patiently, his presence a comforting anchor. "Emily," he said gently, "you have the power to change lives. Remember why you took on this case. It's not just about the law. It's about justice and compassion. Trust in your abilities and in the truth of their story." Bolstered by Jonathan's words, Emily steeled herself for the hearing. On the day of the trial, the courtroom was packed with supporters of the family, all holding their breath in anticipation. Emily stood before the judge, her heart pounding but her resolve firm. She presented the evidence with clarity and passion, highlighting Carlos's contributions to his community and the devastating impact that deportation would have on his family. Her final argument was a heartfelt plea for humanity and justice. "Your Honor," she said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "This is not just a case file. It's a family's future. Carlos has shown unwavering dedication to his family and community. Separating them would cause irreparable harm. We ask for your compassion and for the opportunity to let this family continue their pursuit of the American dream." As Emily spoke, she could see the emotion in the judge's eyes. The room was silent, the tension palpable. After what felt like an eternity, the judge delivered his verdict. In a compassionate and unprecedented ruling, he granted Carlos and his family the right to stay in the United States. The courtroom erupted in applause, and Carlos's family embraced each other, tears of joy streaming down their faces. Emily stood back, a wave of relief and elation washing over her. This victory was more than just a legal triumph. It was a validation of her belief in justice and the power of empathy. She had not only saved a family from being torn apart, but had also reaffirmed her commitment to using her legal skills to fight for those who could not fight for themselves. This emotional turning point was transformative for Emily. It strengthened her resolve and deepened her understanding of the impact she could have through her work. The case became a touchstone for her career, reminding her of the profound difference one person can make. It also galvanized her efforts to advocate for more inclusive and compassionate policies within the legal system. Emily's journey, marked by this emotional turning point, is a testament to the power of resilience, empathy, and unwavering dedication to justice. It highlights the profound impact that one person's efforts can have on the lives of others, and serves as an inspiring reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, hope and humanity can prevail. Emily Carter's journey through the legal profession was not just a personal triumph, but a powerful testament to the importance of inclusion and acceptance. Her experiences as an autistic lawyer became a beacon of hope and inspiration for others facing similar challenges, and her efforts to foster a more inclusive environment had a profound impact on her community. The seeds of Emily's commitment to inclusion were planted early in her career. She knew firsthand the struggles of being misunderstood and underestimated, and she was determined to create a space where everyone, regardless of their differences, could thrive. Her advocacy began within the walls of her own law firm, where she took deliberate steps to educate her colleagues about autism and neurodiversity. Emily organized workshops and seminars, inviting experts to speak about the benefits of a neurodiverse workforce. She shared her personal experiences openly, breaking down misconceptions and fostering empathy. Her efforts began to pay off as her colleagues became more aware and supportive. The firm implemented new policies to accommodate different needs, such as flexible working hours and quiet workspaces, creating a more inclusive environment for all employees. One of Emily's most significant initiatives was the creation of a mentorship program specifically for neurodiverse individuals entering the legal profession. She partnered with local universities and organizations to identify talented students and young professionals who, like her, faced unique challenges. Through this program, she provided guidance, support, and resources to help them navigate the complexities of their careers. Emily's mentorship extended beyond professional advice. She shared coping strategies for sensory sensitivities, techniques for effective communication, and tips for managing stress. She also advocated for her ments within the firm, ensuring they received the accommodations and understanding they needed to succeed. The program quickly gained recognition, and several of Emily's mentor went on to achieve significant accomplishments in their own right. Emily's advocacy work reached a wider audience when she published a series of articles on neurodiversity and inclusion in prominent legal journals. Her writing was both informative and deeply personal, offering insights into the benefits of an inclusive workplace and practical steps organizations could take to support neurodiverse employees. The articles were widely read and shared, sparking conversations and initiatives across the legal community. Her commitment to inclusion was not limited to her profession. Emily became involved in local advocacy groups, working to improve accessibility and support for autistic individuals in all areas of life. She collaborated with policymakers to promote inclusive education and employment practices, and she was a frequent speaker at conferences and events focused on diversity and inclusion. One of the most rewarding aspects of Emily's journey was the impact she had on those around her. Colleagues who had once viewed her differences as obstacles came to see them as strengths. Clients appreciated her unique perspective and meticulous attention to detail. Her mentors, inspired by her example, found the courage to pursue their own dreams and advocate for themselves and others. Emily's story became a source of inspiration for many. She received numerous awards and recognitions for her advocacy work, but the true measure of her success was the lives she touched and the positive change she brought about. She often received letters and messages from individuals who had been inspired by her journey, expressing gratitude for her courage and dedication. Despite all her achievements, Emily remained humble and grounded. She continued to face challenges, but she approached them with the same resilience and determination that had defined her journey from the beginning. Her experiences had taught her that true inclusion required continuous effort and unwavering commitment, and she was more than willing to lead by example. Emily Carter's journey of inclusion is a powerful reminder of the impact one person can have on the world. Her story highlights the importance of embracing diversity and creating spaces where everyone can thrive. Through her advocacy, mentorship, and unwavering dedication to justice, Emily not only transformed her own life, but also paved the way for a more inclusive and compassionate future for all.